integral that we have studied for the previous modules. That will be convenient way to find the response of an LTI system. Okay, if its impulse response is known, and we are going to allow the known that LTI system can be completely characterized by the impulse response. So that we are going to study the Fourier representation is the alternative method. Alternative find the response of a LTI system for the representing of the signals and systems. Here we have represented a signal as a weighted superposition of a complex sinusoidals we are going to study here. If such a signal is applied to an LTI system, the system output will be weighted representation of a system we are going to get for the each complex sinusoidal signals we are going to get. Okay, the representation of a signals and systems using complex sinusoidals, we can call it as a Fourier representation. Fourier representation. The meaning of Fourier representation is the representation of a signals and systems using complex sinusoidals. What we are going to find by make use of complex sinusoidals, that we can call it as a Fourier representation. In the Fourier representation of a signals are classifications we have. We'll see the classification, how exactly it will be going to classify. Depending on the periodic nature of a signal, there are four distinct Fourier representation. That is, first one is, first I'm going to take one signal. That signal will be divided into two different types. What are the different types of signals? Discrete time signal, excuse me, discrete time signal and continuous time signal. Continuous time signal. And here also this will be divided into two different types, that is periodic and non-periodic. Periodic and non-periodic. Please make a note of this. We'll get to know the difference between what exactly discrete and continuous. In discrete, what are the different types, periodic or non-periodic. If it is periodic discrete time signal, we can call it as a DTFS, discrete time Fourier series we are going to call. If it is a non-periodic, we are going to call DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform we are going to call. The continuous time signal, again we have a two different types, that is periodic and non-periodic Here the periodic is represents CTFS, continuous time Fourier series, and continuous time Fourier transform. Non-periodic with respect to Fourier transform in both the cases, periodic with respect to Fourier series. But when we are going to study a continuous time signal, we are going to call it as a continuous time Fourier series, continuous time Fourier transform. Here discrete time Fourier series and discrete time Fourier transform. These four we are going to study. But they have not mentioned about Fourier series. They are telling about continuous time Fourier series. They didn't tell about discrete time Fourier series. But we will discuss all four different categories. If the worst case, whatever they will ask, you can answer the questions in the exam. Okay. In the previous syllabus, they have kept all four, but maybe by mistake they have removed. I don't know. We will discuss all four. We already discussed about your CTFS. We already discussed in the last class CTFS, continuous time Fourier series. Now we will discuss about discrete time Fourier series, discrete time Fourier transform, and continuous time Fourier transform. That is why I didn't show this classification before. Okay, you got the idea?
Yes, sir.
Okay, first initially we have a signal. The signal is divided into two different types, that is discrete time signal and continuous time signal. Then discrete time signal is divided into periodic or non-periodic. With respect to discrete time, we are going to deal, if it is a periodic signal, we are going to deal with a Fourier series. With respect to discrete time signal, Fourier series for the periodic signal. In the discrete time signal, if you have a non-periodic, we are going to deal with a discrete time Fourier transform. Okay, and in the continuous time signal, we have two different types, that is periodic and non-periodic. If it is a periodic signal in the continuous time, we are going to take a continuous time Fourier series. Wherever you study periodic signal, you have to study about Fourier series. If you are going to get a periodic signal, you should deal about Fourier series. If it is continuous, CTFS. If it is discrete, DTFS. If it is a non-periodic, it will be deal with a Fourier transform. If it is continuous, it's a CTFT. If it is discrete, it is a DTFT. That is the main difference on main classification of your signals. Okay. Next, we'll have some table. Make a table. Time properties of a signal and its appropriate Fourier representation. Make a note. Time properties of a signal and its appropriate Fourier representation. Okay, next we'll take a table. The first column, time properties. Time properties. Next column is periodic. Another one is non-periodic. Okay, the time property, if it is continuous time, the periodic is Fourier series, non-periodic is Fourier transform. That we can take it as CTFS and CTFT. If it is discrete time signal, here we are going to deal with a DTFS and here we are going to deal with a DTFT. This is a table. You please remember, you should identify the signal, whether the signal is periodic or non-periodic. If it is continuous and discrete, you can able to identify whether it is CTFS or DTFS or CTFT or DTFT. Very, very important table. Please remember, everyone. If you are not identify the given system or signal with respect to the which category, you cannot able to solve the problem. Why? Because for different approaches, we are going to use different formulas. That is the main disadvantage. That is why you have to remember all categories. Okay, we'll start with the DTFT.
Yes, sir.
Next, we'll start with the actual topic will be DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform. Okay, by seeing syllabus, don't confuse that they asked Fourier series, series, did Fourier transform like that. You study all four, it will be helpful in the future. Okay, if they will not ask in this semester exam, if you are going to study GATE exam, they are going to ask 1 or 2 questions with respect to this Fourier series and Fourier transform. If you are going to write some of the exams for core companies like Bell, BHEL, HAL, like that, they will ask these type of questions. Why? Because this is time domain to frequency domain conversions we are going to use here. That is why it's a very important topic for your future. Even you are going to study these things in the 5th semester digital signal processing. If you learn here well, there you will get easy. There are advanced version of problems you are going to solve in the 5th semester. That is why here we are going to use knowledge level 4 in this module, 4th module and 5th module, Z transform and this Fourier representation. We are going to use knowledge level 1, 2, 3, 4. Means here we are going to understand the things, analyze these things, and we are going to apply the knowledge. Based on that, we are going to set the knowledge. We are going to get up to 4 levels of knowledge. We are going to get it in the module 4 and module 5. Next, we'll start with a DTFT, discrete time non-periodic signal, DTFT. DTFT means we are going to get here in the right side, last column, non-periodic signal for the discrete time signal. Discrete time signal, it is non-periodic, that we can call it as a DTFT. Discrete time non-periodic signal. A non-periodic discrete time signal x of n can be represented as, if considered, I'm going to consider a signal, a discrete time signal, non-periodic discrete time signal, x of n, if I'm going to consider, that is equal to 1 over 2 pi. These are the standard equations. Okay, 1 over 2 pi over a period of 2 pi over a period of 2 pi. X of e power j omega, x of e power j omega into e power j omega n into d omega. This omega represent, this is a discrete. This is a discrete. X of n represents, it's a discrete. Here x of n I am going to take with respect to x of capital X of e power j omega I am going to take. Why? Because this signal is in terms of time domain. This is in time domain. This is in frequency domain. I am going to change the characteristic of the signal with respect to time domain to a frequency domain signal. That is why the relation will be changed like this. Okay, next, or I can write x of n is equal to 1 over 2 pi integral from minus pi to plus pi over a minus pi to plus pi x of e power j omega e power j omega n into d omega. Take it as a equation number 1. Take it as a equation number 1, where x of e power j omega is equal to summation n is lies between minus infinity to plus infinity x of n e power minus j omega n. This is my equation number 2. Equation number 2. See, this is frequency domain, time domain equation. This is frequency domain equation. If I am going to use x of n is equal to 1 over 2 pi integral from minus pi to pi x of e power j omega into e power j omega n into d omega. If I am going to take this as outside, if I am going to take this inside, integral will be changed to summation. It will be, domain will be changed to summation, that will be varies from minus infinity to infinity. Okay, where x of e power j omega, where if I'm going to take x of e power j omega is known as dt of t, is known as dt of t of the signal x of n. This is the dt of t of a signal x of n. Discrete time Fourier transform means this is a time domain signal going to converted with respect to frequency domain signal. This x of e power j omega is known as dt of t of x of n. X of n, if I'm going to apply discrete time Fourier transform, I'm going to get this. That is the meaning. We can also say that x of e power j omega and x of n form the dt of t pair expanded as this will make a dt of t pair. How exactly? Yesterday what we discussed, like that x of n, if I'm going to dt of t of x of e power j omega. This is discrete time omega, like this ohm. How you are going to write ohm? Like that. This is your continuous time omega. This is your like this. I'm going to represent. This is your discrete time omega. This is your continuous time omega. Angular frequency. Got difference, everyone? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Doubts, Idhi?
No, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Next,
discrete time omega is SI unit, sir.
this one, discrete time omega. This is your continuous time omega, right? Now we are going to deal with the discrete. That is why I'm going to write like this: omega e power j omega e power j omega. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, while writing, I will write like this, like n I am going to write. You make a correction. Okay, this is a discrete time omega.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then x of e power j omega. In the above relation, x of e power j omega, that is x of e power j omega, is the frequency domain representation of the time domain signal of x of n. This is the frequency domain representation of a time domain signal x of n. X of n. And x of e power j omega and x of e power j omega is also known as a spectrum of x of n. Spectrum of x of n also we can tell. Equation 1 is called, here we have two different equation. Equation 1 is called the synthesis equation. Equation 1 is synthesis equation and equation 2 is analysis equation. Here we have two different types of equations. Equation 1 is synthesis equation and equation 2 is a analysis equation. That is the major difference between your equation number 1 as well as equation number 2. Please make a note of these things. Now let us consider replace omega by omega plus 2k pi. Replace omega by omega plus 2k pi in the equation number 2. In the equation number 2, what you are going to get, that is x of e power j into omega plus 2k pi, that is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j into omega plus 2k pi into n. If I'm going to split this, I will get summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j omega n into e power minus j 2k pi n I am going to get. Okay, I'm going to make this as a 1. This as a 1. How? How this is 1? We know that e power minus j 2 pi k. This is in the form of e power minus j theta, that is cos theta minus j sin theta. If I'm going to write like that, cos of 2 pi k minus j sin of 2 pi k, this becomes 0. So that cos of 2 pi k becomes 1, this becomes 0, that is equal to 1 e power minus j 2 pi k. With respect to n, I'm going to represent this as a 1. So that finally what you are going to get, x of e power j omega plus 2k pi is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j omega n, that is equal to x of e power j omega. Capital X of e power j omega is equal to summation minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j omega n is the standard equation for your DTFT. This indicates that x of e power j omega is a periodic with a period of 2 pi, that is your spectrum of the periodic. It's a spectrum of periodic. And equation 2 is an infinite series. This series will be curved for alternatively x of e power j omega will consist only if x of n is absolutely summable. That is, if I am going to consider summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity, magnitude of x of n will be less than infinity. For a stable system, we should have finite input and finite output. This is the same way what we are going to deal with the stability. So that now you will got to know the standard equation for your dt eft. X of e power j omega is equal to minus summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j omega n. We are going to use this very important relation. All of you submitted your assignments?
Yes, sir.
Today is the last date, I think so. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Please, it's my request, please everyone submit the assignments in time. Because previously we are going to take it as a hard copy. We can give marks whenever you submit, but now everything is in online. Whatever the deadline we have given, after that we cannot evaluate those things. We cannot give 10 out of 10. Please, 10 marks is in your hand. Try to get that as much as possible. If you are unable to write, we cannot help write. Last time no one will ask. It is a hard copy. Whenever you are going to submit in the last, we'll give 10 for everyone. But this time it is not like that. Okay, that is why please write your assignments in time and submit it as soon as possible. Okay, next we'll discuss the properties. I'll rub this. Okay, take next. Properties of DTFT. Next topic. Properties of DTFT. Please concentrate everyone. If you study one properties clearly, if I am going to study for properties of DTFT, DTFS is same, CTFS is same, CTFT is same, almost 99% change. Some notations you are going to interchange. Okay, now in this first I'm going to take it as a linearity. Yesterday we have discussed only definitions. Now we are going to prove the properties. Okay, now first one, linearity. Linearity. If x of n with a dt of t pair of x of e power j omega and y of n dt of t pair will be y of e power j omega. Then if I will take x of n dt of t of this, if I will take y of n dt of t of this, if I'm going to get, then my z of n is equal to a into x of n plus b into y of n is a dt of t pair of z of e power j omega is equal to a into x of e power j omega plus b into y of e power j omega. I need to prove this. Okay, they are telling that x of n, if I'm going to give x of n, dt of t pair will be x of e power j omega. This is small f x, this is capital X, this is time domain, this is frequency domain. And if I'm going to take y of n dt of t pair, I will get this y of n e power j omega I will get. Then if I'm going to take z of n is equal to ax of n plus by of n, I need to get this one. Okay, next proof. See, yesterday we discussed this one. Definitions we have discussed. Now I need to prove this. Proof. Okay, take first follow the same procedure. We have from definition of dt of t x of n is the pair of x of e power j omega, that is x of e power j omega is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j omega n. We all know that x of n dt of t pair x of e power j omega. It means that x of e power j omega is equal to summation of this definition. We know the definition of dt of t. Similarly, I will write for y of e power j omega is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity y of n e power minus j omega n. I can write. Then therefore z of e power j omega is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity z of n e power minus j omega n. What is your z of n in the definition? I can write this one as a z of n. We can write or not?
Yes, sir.
So that if my z of e power j omega n is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity, I'm going to replace z of n, this z of n with respect to this. I will take a into x of n plus b into y of n, into e power minus j omega n. Here also I have n, here also I have n. Infinity lies between n to n is lies between infinity to infinity, e power j omega n. Here also I have n. I can split this. So that how I am going to get the equation? I am going to split directly. You can separate summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity ax of n into e power minus j omega n plus again this summation b into y of n e power minus j omega n I can take. Okay, I will take like that only. Okay, if I will take summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity a into x of n e power minus j omega n plus summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity b into y of n e power minus j omega n. This a I will take outside, a into summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j omega n plus b into ಇದು ನಂದು ಪ್ಯಾಡ್ ಒಂಥರ ಇದಿದೆ, ಏನು ಅನ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ, ಸೈಡ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity y of n e power minus j omega n. Now we already know the definition of dt of t. I can replace summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j omega n. I can replace as a x of e power j omega n. I can replace, no, sorry, e power j omega,
Yes,
not
sir.
n. E power j omega, a will be remains same, plus b into y of e power j omega I can replace. This will be your z of e power j omega. This is the proof we got. Hence it is proved. As linearity. Any doubts? Got everyone?
Yes, sir.
Got everyone? Any doubts?
Got, sir.
Okay, please make a note of this. See, for external exam, in the properties, CTFT, DTFT, CTFS, DTFS. In 4 properties, each category we have 9 properties, 8 to 9, 8 or 9. Total, you can take 9. Each one 9, 9 into 4, 36. In this 36 properties, at least you will get 4. Each one carries 6 marks. 6 4s are 24. 24 marks you are going to get it in the external exam. Proof. They are going to ask the proof. Prove the linearity property for DTFT, DTFS, like that they are going to ask. Okay. Easily you can get 24 marks. If you know how to prove these properties, problems easily we can solve based on this. Okay, like this we have the properties in the Z transform also. Again 9 properties added. There separately they will ask, they will also ask in the 5th module also, they will ask some 2 properties for 8 marks. That is why properties are very, very important. Please make a note of this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next I need to start time shift property, time shift, frequency shift, everything is there. I will take attendance. It's 10 minutes is there. I cannot solve this frequency domain. Slowly we'll discuss. Many times this frequency domain and time domain, either one they will ask in the external exam. See, after first year also many people are not attending properly classes. A section attendance is improved, but B section again many of them are shortage of attendance. Don't know what you people will do. Yesterday I have given definitions, right? Use the definition. Try for frequency domain for the DTFT. Manish
Yes,
Kumar.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Manish Kumar Lakshmishwar. Manish Kumar. ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ದನಗ ಕಳಿಸ್ರೆ ಇವನ್ನ. ಏನಕ್ಕೂ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ.